Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're kind of tackling that piece of advice, the one we've all heard, push through the pain.
Right. Is that ever actually a good idea?
Exactly. We've been looking at a source from a physical therapy perspective that really digs into what pain versus soreness might be telling your body.
Yeah, forget the whole no pay, no gain cliche for a second. This deep dive, it's really about understanding those signals.
The mission here is to figure out, okay, how do you tell the difference? When is it just discomfort, and when is it something you really need to, get checked out?
Because we've all been there, haven't we? You feel something, maybe someone says, you're fine, or you just tell yourself that.
Or pain as your friend, but like when does that friend become a warning sign you really shouldn't ignore?
Well, what's really interesting from this source is how it defines pain. It's not just an unpleasant feeling. It's framed as a signal,
A signal, meaning.
meaning something is genuinely not right.
Hmm.
Your body's specific alert system is going off. Could be overuse, could be muscles compensating weirdly.
You mean like one part overworking to protect another part?
Exactly that. Or maybe just how your joints are moving isn't quite right. Joint mechanics.
Ah, okay. So it's a much more specific message than just being tired. And the source describes how it feels, too.
Yeah, often sharp,
Mm.
sometimes even stabbing. And importantly, it can show up in muscles or in the joints themselves.
Gotcha. And what does the source say about, well, ignoring it, just playing through?
It's pretty firm on that.
Mm.
Deliberately pushing through actual pain, not recommended
Hmm.
at all,
Why not?
because it significantly increases your risk. You could turn something pretty minor into a much more serious injury later on.
So it's not just uncomfortable, it's actually risky. What happens if you do wait too long to get it looked at?
Well, that's a key point. Delaying treatment often makes the problem way harder to fix down the road.
Okay.
The advice is basically seek an assessment if the pain lasts more than, say, 3 to 5 days after it starts, or if it consistently stops you from doing your usual activities.
Right, like if you can't run as long or lift as much because of it, that's a clear threshold then, 3 to 5 days, or it limits you.
Exactly. The source even gives a number to call for an assessment. It's 512-339-1500.
Okay, good to know.
And they really emphasize getting it treated early, that acute stage, maybe the first week or so, or even subacutely, within a few weeks,
Why early?
because it usually needs much less intervention, less downtime for you compared to waiting until it's become chronic.
Makes sense. Oh, and there was that note for people in Texas, right?
Yeah, just a procedural thing. You can see a physical therapist for an evaluation without needing a doctor's prescription first.
But you do need one for the actual treatment later.
Correct. Evaluation first, then prescription for treatment if needed.
Okay. Now, let's switch gears a bit because this is crucial. Soreness. It's different, isn't it?
Fundamentally different, yeah.
We're talking about that classic achy feeling, stiff maybe after you've really pushed yourself, like lifting or a big hike.
Precisely. Soreness is usually described just like that, achy or stiff. And it's actually a normal muscular response, totally expected.
Expected.
Yeah, happens when you challenge your muscles more than usual. They're adapting, getting stronger, and it often doesn't even kick in for a day or two, maybe even 3 days after the activity.
Ah, delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. So soreness is actually kind of a good sign, your body adapting.
In a way, yes, it's adapting and building tolerance, though the source actually suggests aiming for activity levels that only cause mild soreness.
Right, not crippling soreness. And if you are sore, what's the advice?
Gentle movement is good, maybe some light massage,
Yeah.
and definitely take a day or two off from whatever really challenging thing caused it.
Let the muscles recover.
Exactly. And the best way to avoid excessive soreness is just gradual progression. Slowly increase how much you're doing over time.
Okay, so let's boil this down then. The core difference. Pain. That's the sharp, maybe stabbing signal. Something's up. Overuse, bad mechanics, whatever.
Right, your body's saying, hey, pay attention.
Whereas soreness, that's the achy, stiff feeling that comes later. It's normal. Muscles adapting.
Perfectly put. So the action plan is, don't push through pain. Get it checked out early. Much easier recovery, according to the source.
And handle soreness with some rest, gentle movement. It's part of the process.
And remember that time frame. Pain hanging around more than 3 to 5 days or stopping you from doing things, that warrants getting it assessed.
And that number again is 512-339-1500, keeping the Texas prescription rule in mind for actual treatment.
So now that we've made this distinction, pain versus soreness.
What does this really mean for you listening right now? If you think about pain as that specific signal, Are there any little aches, maybe discomforts you've been kind of ignoring? What might your body be trying to tell you?
Hmm.